Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitske. We begin this hour with the latest on the coronavirus pandemic here in Kern County. Now, Public Health says they are currently experiencing a problem with the database and cannot provide numbers at this time. They say they'll update those numbers as soon as they can. In the meantime, yesterday, Kern Public Health reported 2 new deaths and 766 new cases. That brings the total number of our cases in our area to more than 67,000. More than 33,000 people are isolating at home with an active case of the virus. That's nearly half of the total number of people infected. A record 384 people are in the hospital with more severe symptoms. So far, 504 people have died from COVID-19 here at home. Kern County will remain in the stay-at-home order as the San Joaquin ICU capacity remains at 0%. And as COVID-19 cases continue to rise in California hospitals, they are running low on space. Hospital officials are pleading with the public to follow coronavirus precautions as staff and space dwindles to low levels. LA County reported its highest ever single-day total of COVID-19 deaths Wednesday with 227. Riverside Community Hospital is converting old cafeterias and conference rooms into alternative care spaces. The State National Guard has deployed members of its medical corps to help in hospitals' emergency rooms. And next time you call 911, you may not get an ambulance right away. That's because of a surge in calls amid the pandemic. Kern County Public Health is now making changes to its emergency medical services to help reduce the strain on the system. In this new plan, it will aim at providing the best care by prioritizing responses that are high demand. The plan has 4 levels that will be based on the number of 911 calls, ambulance availability, hospital capacity, and staff affected by coronavirus. Currently, we are in the yellow tier, which means ambulances will only respond to low priority calls if there are enough resources available. They say 911 callers will be informed of the situation. And now to a story we've been following very closely. 3-year-old Orson West and 4-year-old Oren West have been missing from their California City home for more than a week now. But law enforcement isn't letting up on solving this case. This was a scene in California City just before 3 yesterday, where police and federal agents forced their way into the home where the boys lived with their adoptive parents and 4 brothers and sisters. Leaving a few hours later with items from the home, Chief of Police John Walker gave an update on the investigation.
I can't comment on that, whether I think they're alive or not. I do suspect foul play. We haven't been able to put together, how the boys got out of the yard or where they've gone.
Police say there are 4 other agencies working on this case. We know 2 of which are Bakersfield Police and the FBI. Walker says California City has a small police department and they can use all the help they can get. He says police extensively dug up the backyard but didn't find any leads. He confirmed that the 4 other children of the adoptive parents are in protective custody.
If there's any kind of a juvenile situation where there's been any kind of neglect or any kind of harm to any of the children, we automatically have to take all the other kids out of the house.
Now, the city manager told us the city is planning to give a financial reward to anyone who can find the boys. They're still working out the exact amount of that reward. And here in Kern County, we have reached a great milestone, a record number of homicides. Now, tune in to 17 News at 5 tomorrow for a special report. 17's Raphael Stroud going in depth on this deadly record to break down all the numbers and track those trends. And switching gears now, let's send things over to Kevin Charette. We are seeing a pleasant day out there, right, Kevin?
Yeah, Nicole, it is a beautiful start to the afternoon here. We've got mostly clear skies. A few high clouds will be drifting in throughout the day, taking you downtown. And you can see a few clouds out there. We've got a temperature of 54, a calm wind right now. Hour by hour for us today, we will be back where we should be this time of year, into the 50s and slipping back into the 40s tonight. As we take a look at Tehachapi, our new camera out that way shows some snow on the hillside, but a beautiful shot looking into downtown. And we've got 50 degrees degrees. A calm wind right now. Visibility is good, and hour by hour, we're only going to be in the 40s today and then slipping back into those 30s by tonight. I've got much more in your pinpoint forecast that's coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks for that, Kevin. Now, yesterday we learned that the new strain of COVID-19 first identified in the United Kingdom is now in the United States. Colorado is reporting its first case of the COVID-19 variant that is said to be more contagious, although the symptoms are no more severe. Governor Jared Polis, along with state health officials, made the announcement yesterday. They confirmed that a man in his 20s is isolating in Elbert County with the COVID-19 variant known as B117. The man has no history of travel to the United Kingdom. Colorado's state lab is the first in the U.S. to identify the variant through analysis of testing samples, and they are now working to identify other potential cases. Scientists believe the currently approved vaccines will be effective against this variant. The governor, along with state health officials, will provide additional details at a briefing later today. And check your bank's accounts because some Americans may have already received a second round of COVID relief payments. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin tweeted payments that would arrive into some accounts as of last night. The direct deposit payments will continue into next week. Mnuchin said paper checks would be mailed starting today. Individuals who made up to $75,000 in 2019 will get up to $600. Married couples who earned up to $150,000 will get up to $1,200. Families also will get an additional $600 for each dependent under 18 years old in their household. Mnuchin said people expecting to receive payments can check online with the IRS Coronavirus Tax Relief tab beginning later this week. Well, new stimulus checks, new scams. The Federal Trade Commission is telling consumers to be on guard against scammers looking to get their hands on the new wave of stimulus funds. Direct deposits of the $600 checks began last night. The government will not ask you to pay any upfront fee to get your stimulus check. Anyone saying otherwise is trying to defraud you. The government will also not call, text, email, or contact you on social media to get details like your social security number, bank account information, or credit card number. And you should know there is no way to get your money earlier or faster. That's also a red flag for a scam. And the median home sale price spiked 14% according to real estate firm Redfin. That's year over year, comparing the 4-week period ending December 20th. Redfin says the median sale price was nearly $321,000. Redfin's chief economist says going into the new year, it will truly be out with the old. There will be very few homes from 2020 left on the market. Prospective buyers should get pre-approved for a mortgage in order to move quickly to make an offer, as inventory will remain tight. And Dunkin' wants to help you run across the 2020 finish line with an extra boost. The coffee and donut chain is introducing Dunkin' Extra Charged Coffee starting today. It packs 20% more caffeine than Dunkin's classic hot and iced coffees. Green coffee extracts boost the caffeine level. Dunkin's will be offering a medium extra charged coffee for $2 through January 26th. And New Year's Day is Friday, and unlike Christmas, most chains will be open, but you can expect to find many restaurants operating with special hours Thursday and Friday. Most Chick-fil-A restaurants close at 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But the chicken chain said in a blog post that hours can vary by location. Other big national chains like McDonald's and Burger King will also be open. For locally owned restaurants, it's probably just best to call ahead and make sure that they are open. And as we say, good riddance to 2020. People are hoping next year will be better than last. Some might say that luck might be bolstered by certain foods or rituals. NBC's Dan Scheneman has this story.
To say this past year was full of challenges is putting it mildly. It is no wonder people around the globe are ready for a new year. Personal chef Jill Aker-Ray says food is often believed to be the way to good luck and good fortune.
Peas for pennies, greens for dollars, and cornbread for gold. Collard greens are known to even be done in a bunch and put on your door to ward off evil spirits.
Some cultures have a smashing good time when seeking out their fortune.
So in Denmark, it's tradition to go to your neighbor's home, take your old plate or an old plate, and you smash it at their doorway. And the more shards that you get, the more luck you have in the coming year.
Soba noodles are the New Year's food of choice in Asian cultures.
It's tradition to slurp those noodles and to make sure that you do not break off the noodle because that ends your good fortunes.
Spaniards prefer grapes, popping one at each stroke of midnight, representing the months of the year.
Careful not to get a grape that is bitter because then you have to watch out for that month.
One of the sweetest traditions includes a peppermint pig for prosperity.
The head of household takes the peppermint pig, puts it in a beautiful velvet bag, and takes the hammer, breaks apart pieces, and they pass it around. They each share a piece to represent the sweetness of the coming year.
And while you may not want to clean on New Year's, it may help move 2020 into the past.
In Mexico, the tias and abuelas sweep with a broom every corner of the room in the house to get rid of all the stagnant energy.
Whatever tradition or traditions you may choose, the new year is almost here. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Well, that's it for us here at 17 News at Noon. We have much more news coming up at 5.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.